Good evening and welcome to the 2021 annual meeting of the Amherst Area Chamber of Commerce. My name is Jennifer Moyston. I am one of 3 community participation officers for the Town of Amherst, and now the chair of the Amherst Area Chamber's Equity and Inclusion Task Force. This past year has been challenging for so many reasons and to so many people. It has brought racial inequalities within our country and our community to the forefront. In 2020, we witnessed the call for change across the nation and in our cities and towns. A group of Amherst Area Chamber members gathered to consider how we as business and community leaders could heed the call and be part of the change within our community. And thus the Equity and Inclusion Task Force was formed. We recognize that as business leaders and community leaders, we must work towards an anti-racist society that dismantles systemic racism. The mission of the Amherst Area Chamber of Commerce's Equity and Inclusion Task Force supports and welcomes all members from all walks of life. We as leaders must be aware of our own cultural views and biases. We must learn to communicate cross-culturally and begin to view our work through the lens of equity and inclusion. I will now read the Land Acknowledgement for the Indigenous people, followed by the Acknowledgement of Contributions of African Americans written by community member Lauren Mills. The Statement of the Indigenous Heritage of the Land. We humbly acknowledge that we stand on Nonotuck land, acknowledging also our neighboring indigenous nations, the Nipmuc and the Wampanoag to the east, the Mohegan and the Pequot to the south, the Mohican to the west, and the Abenaki to the north. Acknowledgement of Contribution of African Americans written by community member Lauren Mills. Amherst recognizes the generations of African Americans that have contributed to the development of agricultural and historical academic preservation to the past and present. We also acknowledge the rich spiritual culture, artistic contribution, and pursuits of justice that have enriched the communities in which African Americans have lived, worked, persevered, and achieved. It is not as simple as the town working towards equity and inclusion. We need all facets of the community, the town, the colleges, the businesses, the schools, our local social organizations, and our community members to work together in achieving the goal of Amherst being a true and inclusive, welcoming community. Our Equity and Inclusion Task Force is still growing, and if you are interested in serving, please email Claudia. Thank you, and back to you.